You should only ride in cowboy boots. Or should you? It's dangerous to ride in tennis shoes. Or is it? I think you can tell where this is heading. So before we get started, I just want to clarify that I have nothing against wearing cowboy boots. I wear cowboy boots. I think it's smart to take safety precautions and make sure that your horse is in a safe environment along with yourself, and make sure that you're always setting yourself up for success and not creating bad experiences. But I will say, never wear steel toe around horses, because that is more dangerous than going barefoot around horses. And cowboy boots will not save your feet if a horse steps on your foot. So if you're dealing with your own horses, I highly recommend you train your horses to be respectful of your space and not to step on your feet. I have a whole video about that. I'll link that up here. But if you're also dealing with unfamiliar horses that you cannot train to do those things, just be precautious yourself and be very aware of your own footing, and don't put yourself in positions you think a horse might step on your foot. We should always be very aware of where we're putting our feet. Be very mindful of the horse's body language. Just pretend that you're walking through a minefield of snakes that can bite you and are very venomous, and then you'll be very mindful of your feet. A little strange. And of course, after you train your horses to be mindful of your feet and be respectful of your space, wearing cowboy boots won't be so necessary, and you'll feel comfortable walking around your horse in any kind of footwear, because, well, that's what you get when you train a horse. I'll get off my short horse now. So, as some of you may know, shout out to my OG subscribers, I do a lot of riding in gym shoes in the summer. Not so much in the winter. It's self-explanatory. And because of that, I get a lot of comments saying I need to wear proper footwear. I'm not capable of teaching if I don't have proper footwear. It's dangerous to ride in tennis shoes because you can get your foot stuck in the stirrup. Your horse might step on your foot. If you need to take your shoe off in case of an injury, it's bad that it's laced up, and all kinds of things. So I'll address it, and I'll share my opinion on it and why I do it. Right now I'm wearing my winter boots. So I have my Western riding boots and my gym shoe that I ride in all summer, which has a bunch of holes all over it. But you know what? I paid $11 for this like 4 years ago at Walmart, so I think it paid off. So reasons people think that it's safer to ride in boots than it is tennis shoes is because boots have a heel that will catch the stirrup when you're riding. But in my opinion, it shouldn't be the footwear that keeps your foot from sliding all the way through the stirrup. It should be your foot posture that keeps your foot from sliding all the way through the stirrup. Also, stirrups come in different sizes. So if your foot is getting stuck in a stirrup too easily, maybe your stirrup is too small for your foot, or maybe it's too large for your foot and your foot is slipping all the way through. And I also brought my shoes out here because I want to show you how they fit in the stirrup, and I don't really feel like freezing my feet off in tennis shoes right now like I did last week. So obviously these are flat. They do not have a heel that would catch the stirrup to keep your foot from sliding all the way through, which I've never seen happen. I ride in tennis shoes all the time. My sisters ride in tennis shoes all the time, and I've never seen a person with a tennis shoe's foot slip completely all the way through the stirrup. I believe it can happen, but I've never seen it, and I've seen a lot of people ride with tennis shoes. But I have seen a lot of people get dragged while they're wearing cowboy boots, and I think I know why. Technically, because these do not have a heel, they could slip all the way through the stirrup. Like so. These are not up to cowboy standards apparently, but they are similar to your cowboy boots. They do not have as high of an arch, I don't think, as your traditional cowboy boot. The reason I think that cowboy boots get stuck in stirrups is because they have such a high arch. And that just encourages people to put their foot all the way in until their heel hits the stirrup. And then your stirrup is going to be sitting in the arch of your boot, and this is going to cause the boot to kind of lock in. And if you fell off, your boot is now trapped in there. And it's not going to slip out easily because it's being pinched in the arch of the boot and the top of the boot. And we know boots are not very bendy, so if your foot gets in this position, you're gonna be dragged. Unlike if you're wearing a tennis shoe and you have the proper foot posture and your heel down, you fall out, and so does the shoe. Yes, technically your foot could slide all the way through with gym shoes, but it's not about the footwear, it's about the posture. And I think it happens to Western riders most frequently because they are not taught proper foot posture. From what I've seen, a lot of Western trainers do not teach their students proper foot posture because they see it as a refining thing that English riders do, and they don't see it as that important. But BS with that. Maybe it's my unpopular opinion, but I think every single equestrian, doesn't matter the discipline, should be taught and should know from day one the proper way to hold your foot in a stirrup, because it's extremely important and it can keep you from being dragged by your horse. It's not just something that English riders learn to look fancy or whatever. A lot of times I think Western riders look over the aspects of proper riding posture, like your shoulder, hip, heel alignment, because they think that it's just an English thing to have to hold yourself in a proper position. But that's not the case. The reason we need proper posture is because it gives us a quiet seat. It ensures that we have a well-fitting saddle to us, not just the horse. And you have a safer, deeper seat when you have a proper seat. So to have proper foot posture, you want to have the sole of your foot in the stirrup, because that's where you want your weight. That is your balance point, to have your sole of your foot on your stirrup. So right behind your toes, the widest part of your foot is the sole of your foot, and that's where you're going to keep your stirrup. And your heel is just going to be not too far down, because you don't want to push your foot forward, but comfortable and relaxed and down enough so that it's lower than the rest of your foot, so that your foot's not going to sink into your stirrup. Because if your toes are like this, your foot's going to slip further into your stirrup, and you're going to have this situation where this stirrup comes all the way back here, and this is really bad. This is how you get dragged, because your foot's not going to come out of here easily. If your stirrup is getting stuck in the arch of your boot, that is not good. So by keeping the stirrup in the sole of your foot and your heel nice and relaxed and down, this is going to help, for one, keep your shoulder, hip, heel alignment, but also it's going to keep you more balanced, because you're not going to be tipping yourself forward by having your toes pointed down, and you're not going to be pushing yourself into a chair position by swinging your heels too far down. So we want to be relaxed and comfortable in our feet, and you're going to keep your weight in the sole of your foot, so that when we post, your foot is staying still and you're just going up and down. And if your foot was too far forward and you wanted to post, your feet would have to come back to push you up, then go forward, come back, push you up, come down. Or if your feet were pointing down, you'd have to swing your legs back to push yourself up. It's just very awkward and painful on the horse's back. You're not going to have a soft, quiet seat, and yeah, so having proper foot posture helps the rest of your body stay in position, and also it ensures that your foot's not going to slide all the way through. And that's how I ride in tennis shoes without my foot sliding all the way through the stirrup. I've already said it, but I'll say it again. It's not about what you wear on your feet that keeps you safe, but how you ride. And people are also saying that you don't want lace-up shoes, because if you get an injury on your foot, they need to be able to take off the boot quickly. But at least with these shoes, I haven't had to tie them since I bought them, because I just slip them on. So these are easier to put on than my actual boots, so that's not really an issue. Basically, in my opinion, I think that we need to step up and start teaching the younger generations how to ride properly, instead of teaching them that horses are always going to be dangerous and we need to just buy all of this protective gear that's going to save us. Again, I have nothing against wearing boots. I wear boots. I have nothing against wearing helmets. Helmets are great, keep your brain safe. But just because we have all the safety gear on does not mean we don't have to learn how to ride properly and more safely, and teach our horses how to be more relaxed and comfortable and safer to be around. Gear will never save your life. I mean, I guess a helmet could, but training your horse to be a safer horse to be around and teaching yourself how to be a better rider will. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big like and subscribe. You can go follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Well, actually, I guess right now, I'm not sure if you'll find me on TikTok. But I post new videos here every single Sunday at 9 a.m. So don't forget to come back next week, and I'll see you guys next week Sunday. Bye!